Good morning, everyone. Okay, I know it's been a while since we did a craft, so I might be a little bit clumsy, but a friend showed me how to do this, and I thought you guys might enjoy doing it too. All right, so let me get you the example. So this is our hanging towel, and so it's great. It folds closed, and then you have a button on there just to hold it on, and it's really simple sewing. So if you know how to use your sewing machine, you can pretty much do this, okay? And so then you can just put it on. You can put it on the fridge. It might hang a little weird, but I put mine on my stove or on a towel rack in the bathroom. That would be cute too. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So what I started out with is we have one hot pad, and I did find that it's much easier to do the corner one. So if you can get them with the corner hook, I do feel like it works a lot better. I'll show you some of the ones that I've done that were flat, so you kind of have an idea, but I found that they do work better like this. All right, so we're just going to set that aside for a minute. And then we have a towel, and this one's fairly thin, so it should be able to go through my machine really well. And I don't mind using both sides. So a lot of times what people do is they'll cut it in half so they can make two out of it. But these ones are fairly thin, so I think they're fine to do as just one. All right, so we have the whole piece there, right? And so I'm just going to turn you guys down a little bit so you guys can see how I'm laying it out. All right, so it does already have its folds in it, and I like using that as kind of a cheat. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of fold it under a little bit. Okay, so sorry, here, I'll show you on this side a little bit, so hopefully you guys can see a bit better. I guess I should have a little more space. So we're folding it like this. You guys see? So it's kind of underneath. Okay, so I'm just doing it like this to kind of give you guys an idea of what I'll be doing. So we're gonna do that on both sides. All right, and that will help it flare a little bit more at the bottom, so then you guys can enjoy the prettiness of it. All right, and so we'll just kind of see how that lays out. You want it about as much sticking out on either side. I think we probably need it on a little bit more than that. All right, and you just grab your hot pad and just see where it adds up. Okay, so you want to find like that fold from where it was folded in half, right? And so we're just kind of measuring to make sure it's tucked in enough. So I need to tuck it in just a little bit more. And so what I do is I just push my fingers in just a little bit more to tuck it in a touch. All right, and again, kind of making sure that they're about even on each side. All right, and that looks about right. Okay, so now we have the hot pad, and so we want the decorative side to be able to be seen. So we're actually going to lay it down. Okay, let me think. So I want this one to be the front, and so my hook goes in the back. Okay, so we're going to line it up, and I like to give a little extra space on the side that's going to be in the front, just so it's hanging over a little bit more. I always hate it when the back is longer than the front, right? And so I like to give a little bit of cushion, so I move it up just about half an inch from that straight line. Okay, and so if you're concerned about, your sewing line, you can grab a ruler and a pencil and just kind of line it up. I also like it if you can follow these lines. These ones aren't quite perfect, so I think I will do my own line. So I'm going to do it right down the middle for this one. All right, so I just grab a pencil. Because it's a black, you won't be able to see it. Chalk is a good one that usually isn't too much of an issue. That'll come off. All right, so that'll just give me a bit of a line. So then I can see where I want to sew. And then I have some pins, so if I'm worried about it shifting, I'm just going to double check where I'm at. All right. And just make sure I get near the ends. And where it'll want to flap down, right? So we want to put probably about 4 or 5 pins in just to make sure it's not going to move all around on us as we go through the sewing machine. All right, there we go. That'll just take me a moment, you guys. All right, I have another thing all pinned up, and so I mostly have my dull pins left, the rejection ones. So just taking an extra moment to go through. There we go. These pins are a good, 8 years old, and so it's about time for me to replace them. All right, and I'll do one more just in the middle just to hold that. All right, so that's super easy, guys. So this is what we're looking at now. We have it folded in, it's tucked in on either side, and we have the loop on the back side. So that's So it's shifted just a little bit from center. All right, so now let's see if I can bring in my sewing machine this way. All right, there we go. Keep it nice and easy so we don't have to scooch you guys. All right, so some of the towels are quite a bit thicker, so it might struggle a little bit with getting in. So that's why I do kind of like having the thinner towels to go through, just so I don't have to worry about my machine. All right, and we're turning it on. Check where my lines are. Hopefully I think I can kind of see it. All right, so now we're just going to start on the side, and I like to do it, sorry. No, you guys can't hear me as well. So I like to do it after the binding on it. So I start after the binding so I don't have to worry about the binding being too thick and trying to get through all that. Okay, so, and just make sure on this side that your fold is going to stay low and go under. So I like to kind of hold it. So then here, turn it a bit for you guys to see. So I like to hold this as it goes through just to make sure it doesn't fold up on me. Okay, so I just hold it until I get to the edge of the sewing machine before it goes through, just to make sure it's lying flat like it's supposed to and that it's not going to fold. So now I'm good to let go, and we're still just hopefully following that line. Alright, and then we'll do a quick back stitch once we get to the end, again avoiding that binding. Alright, and that's it. We're going to lift up, pull out, cut our threads. Alright, so that is definitely the hardest part of it, you guys. Alright, so now I'm going to pull out my pins, and we'll see how this worked out. Okay. All right, you guys. Oh no, it looks like I did the towel itself upside down. So you want to make sure your design, see what happened there? So this side had it upright and this side had it upside down. Most of them actually are reversible, but I guess this one isn't. So I'll probably have to unstitch it. So just make sure that you're doing, you sort out where your front is going to be and make sure that it doesn't end up like that. I should have double checked before, but I didn't. All right, I'm just going to quickly cut off some of those extra threads on the sides. So just a quick snip. All right, and I think I will go ahead and show you guys. Let's see if I have everything here. Might not have thread. That's okay. I'll steal it from my machine. All right, so then this is what we're at. So of course what we need is our button. So I'm going to go ahead and sew that on, and I'll redo that afterwards. So I'll just unstitch it and then turn it around and stitch it the right way, but the button won't be in the way. So let's go ahead and do a quick button. And so you want to make sure, so I just got this jar from the dollar store with a variety of buttons, lots of different sizes to work with. And so you just want to make sure that the button is going to go through that hole, before you sew it on. You want to make sure that it's going to be able to go and that it's big enough to kind of hold it, right? Okay, so, and it's just as simple as sewing on a button. So if you've ever sewed on a button before, this was actually one of my first experiences doing it, because it was just nothing I needed to do for most of my sewing. And so I'm just going to keep it super basic, and now I need a needle. And I don't think you need to be too picky about what kind of needle you use for it. This might not even be like the right way of doing a button, but this is the way I did it, and I didn't seem to have any issues. So if I'm doing it wrong, let me know. Maybe post a link of how to do buttons, but this one seemed to hold just fine. All right, just threading it. Okay, so I got it through the eye, and I cut off quite a bit of thread, so I have plenty to work with. So about double an arm's length on it, just so I don't have to worry about running out. All right, and I'm just gonna do, let's see, I want to make sure that those who might not know how to do this, so I'm just gonna do a little knot in there. And I like to hold the loop, so then it looks like that. So then I don't have to worry about it, like it kind of stops it from going through as much. All right, so here I go. And make sure I didn't lose my button yet. So this is a button I have. All right, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and place it where I want it. I'm gonna start from behind, come up from behind, and yeah, I totally just stabbed myself, you guys. All right, come up from behind and try and get that first hole. I'm sure people have a better way of getting started, but this is me learning buttons. All right, come on. All right, so it just came through that one hole, if you guys can see that. All right, and we're just gonna keep on binding those holes. So just once, and I'm just gonna go through the next hole, and we're just gonna do that a few times to make sure that it's good and solid. So I'm gonna go ahead and cross over to the other side. So just to the other side like that. Let's try and let it focus. All right, and I'm gonna cover each one. Just do that same back and forth on those two lines. Here, I'll show you what lines I mean. And so I didn't get super crazy intense about it. So just going back and forth over those two lines, and I did it about 3 times. And so that's about it. So yeah, and then you have your button, and I'll finish that after. So we'll see if this will hold without it being tied off. Just make sure to tie it off in the end, and then you'll have your hand towel, your hanging hand towel. All right, you guys, if you have any questions, go ahead and shoot me a message, and I'm going to go and make this not upside down anymore. All right, you guys, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.